Hi there, this is joAnne, the Closet Christian, coming to you today with another ancient spiritual practice called Lectio Divina. Well, that's a fancy word or a fancy name for a holy reading. Now today we're going to do it in a style of imagination, okay? So the normal style is simply you read the text slowly and then you repeat it about 4 different times, and each time you think about a different aspect of it and you note what is popping out to you, and you think about each of those things throughout each of those readings, and then study that, pray about that, ask God to speak to you. So the reading that I'd like you to remember is when the crowds were all gathering around Jesus and he was teaching for hours and hours and hours, and it was starting to get late. And the disciples had to, Jesus, it's getting really late. You should dismiss this crowd and so they can go back home or find somewhere to eat. And he says to his disciples, you feed them. They're like, where are we going to get the money to feed them? And you know the story. Well, then they said, look, we found 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. But what is that with so many people? And Jesus took them, he prayed and blessed them and gave them back to the disciples, and they multiplied enough that everyone had their full and there was 12 baskets left over. So the idea of Lectio Divina now is that you would go back, place yourself, this is the imagination part, place yourself in the story as yourself. You are there in that time. What are you noticing, experiencing, thinking about, feeling? How do you perceive Jesus, the disciples? How do you observe the crowd around you, okay? And then you read it again, and you maybe ask yourself a different one of those questions each time. Or the other thing that you might do, instead of being yourself, you may choose a character in the scene and be that person and put yourself in their sandals and experience the story through their eyes and their heart and their emotion. What's the point of this? To make the experience of Jesus come alive for us here, today, and now, because he lives and moves among us, and he wants us to know him. And this is a way to know him, is by putting ourselves out there and saying, this is what I observe about you. This is what I see about you. This is what I'm learning about you. This is how I'm getting closer to you. This is a practice that's been around for many, many, many years, and you can look it up, Google it, Lectio Divina, and try it out. It will help you greatly if you do it, even if you just do it once a week. All right, try it. Take care.